Welcome to Two Sides of New York. I'm Cross, along with my pal Reid, and it finally happened. Manny Machado has signed.
You called it, Padres.
Yeah, got some more moves coming. A couple of contract extensions, a few more signings. What do you know? The Patriots are in another scandal. Could you believe it? And we'll talk a little hockey as well. Getting right into it, Manny Machado signs with the Padres for 10 years, $300 million.
That's a lot of money, and it's the biggest free agent contract in Northern American sports history because Giancarlo Stanton's contract was an extension, so that does not count. Manny's a great player, definitely probably one of the best players of this era, but 300 for a guy like that, I mean, nothing against his playing skills, but when you're going to put 300 into a player, I feel like his character needs to be like a captain, a leader, which he did seem like in that interview. And I mean, when he's interviewed, he seems like a nice guy, but I think he really shows his true colors on the field.
Yeah, that's the number one question with him. Does he have his character straightened out? We've seen it with the Dodgers throughout the whole playoffs, stepping on guys' ankles, saying that, oh no, I'm not going to go out there and hustle every play, even in the World Series, and that awful swing and miss on the last out of the World Series. But when you look at it right when it happened, you're like, oh, he's going to the Padres. He's only in it for the money. The Padres, they aren't contenders this year. I know they're not contenders this year, even with Manny Machado. But if you look at them coming up, they got Tatis, they got Hunter Renfroe and Margot, the center fielder, and they got Lucchesi, the left-handed pitcher, who I think is really good. Not this year, but the Padres, within the next few years, they're definitely going to be contenders to win the West and maybe even get to the World Series.
Yeah. You got to see what Tatis, if he's a bust or not, and if he isn't, I'd say look out, because if you have 3 stars on the infield, being Hosmer, who I believe is going to bounce back this season, Machado, and then Tatis, that's good, and they just got to get their pitching in order, I think. I think their offense is going to click pretty soon. That third baseman who they had last year had an excellent year. I can't remember his last name. Villanova is his last name, I believe.
Yeah. He had. I forgot about him. He had a really good year last year too. But that's the thing about the Padres. Not a lot of people know a lot about them. They have one of the top prospects in baseball. They also have Hunter Renfroe, Margot. They're both really good players, and that team is going to be talked about a lot more. The spotlight's going to be on them now.
Who they require from the Indians last year, that catcher.
That the fuck's his name? But yeah,
it was one of the top prospects. So I think their offense is going to be pretty good this season. I just think they're just not going to be able to finish games. So I think they're definitely going to put up a lot more runs this season with Manny, and I also love that stadium out in San Diego.
Yeah, it's a beautiful stadium. That's like on the list for stadiums I gotta go to before I die.
Dude, I went to San Diego, and I was just like, yeah, I want to go see Petco Park, and we didn't have the chance to. I was so mad. I wanted to go because you can see the field from like center field, like. How it's like. I don't know if you've ever seen. I don't know. You probably see it better in the show. Center field, there's just like fans who can just walk up and just start watching in the grass. I don't know if you have to pay, but it's a good. And one of my favorite things to do in the show is hit it, in left field, up near a little above where your boy Bartolo hit the home run. Those decks and stuff. That's one of my favorite things to do in the show.
Hit the warehouse building, as my boy Big G did it in the World Baseball Classic. Yeah, but Manny Machado signing with the Padres.
He signed with the Padres. Bryce has not signed yet. I don't know. Does he not want to sign with Philly? It kind of seems like he's just naming reasons or trying to find some reason not to go there.
He wants to go to LA or New York. I think that's the only reason. Which New York, it's probably not going to happen because the Yankees are set. Which we'll get more into the Yankees, and the Mets, they're not going to do jack shit. But if that's the both New York teams are out, he really wants to go to LA. I think.
Yeah, he wants to go to the Dodgers or obviously the Yankees, which is definitely not happening. And I mean, I love Bryce Harper. I've always liked watching him, but since his MVP season, you cannot argue that he has not been on a decline.
Oh yeah, he's definitely been on the decline. Last year, he picked it up in the second half, but last year he had
Still,
a very
240. That's awful.
Yeah, very underwhelming year last year. The power numbers for him will always be there. He's always going to hit home runs, but that average last year was awful, and he had a very underwhelming season.
A 1.3 WAR.
That's disgusting, and especially if he's asking for 326 million. That's not going to cut it.
Yeah, exactly. And this is not just this season. Yes, in 2015, the spectacular season of a 10.0 WAR, but 2016, 1.5, 17 a little better, 4.7, that's good, but that's not a superstar. And then, obviously, last year, 1.3, so that is not a guy who I think is worth the biggest sports contract in American history. And he wants it by far. I mean, I don't know, I just don't think he's he's a great player, he's a superstar for sure, but I don't know if he's even the top 5 MLB player right now.
Yeah, you also have to consider the facts of how every time he's gone to the playoffs, the Nationals have been one and done. And if you want to be a superstar, you want to be a leader how he portrays himself to be, that's not going to cut it.
Exactly, and I'm going to say it right here, I think the Nats are going to get by that first round. Maybe not this year, but without him, they're definitely going to get over that hump, and a lot of people are going to wonder maybe if it was him holding them back. Not obviously playing-wise, but in the locker room.
Yeah, the Nationals have already said they're out on Harper, but they're still definitely, I think, the number one team in the East as of right now.
Yeah, definitely. I know we've probably talked a little junk with Patrick Corbin, but looking into the numbers, Arizona is a slugging ground. Just inside that stadium, the ball just flies in there. And Nationals Park, it's not a pitcher's park, but it's really even. If you pitch well, you're not going to give up home runs, and that's why Scherzer has excelled well. So there, and he's also going to have Scherzer, and to look up to. So, and if Strasburg can pitch to his potential, it's going to be hard to score runs off the Nats.
Yeah, but I'm going to go out and say this: by the time our next episode comes out, Harper will be signed, and I think he's going to sign with the Phillies.
Yeah, he's going to have to budge, just like Manny.
Yeah, I think he's going to sign with the Phillies for 8 years, and I think he's gonna be settling for $300 million. The same 8 years, $300 million, the same amount of money as Machado.
Yeah, definitely. I don't think he's going to break Stanton's contract. Well, he's not going to get 13 years. No way. No one's ever going to get that again.
Yeah, I can't see him getting more than 10. I'm seeing 8, opt out at 5.
Opt out at 5? Yeah, I think that's reasonable, especially if it's with Philly.
What was Manny's opt?
It's after 5.
After 5, yeah. That's usually about where it is.
Yeah, so definitely, but just Bryce, he's just, I mean, I've always liked him as a player, but for that amount of money, honestly, I think he's worth something like $250, $275, if that.
He's not. If somehow he ever hears this, which probably not, he would definitely have a gripe with you about that one.
Yeah, he would definitely. but I'm just saying, numbers don't lie. If you're looking at a WAR, I mean, I don't know how they do all the numbers with the WAR and stuff, but 1.3 does not equal $350 million.
Oh, no, yeah, I definitely agree with you. 1.3 WAR.
But Bryce, if you do listen to this, I respect you as a player and love watching you, but you got to pick up your game, bud, if you want that money.
Hey, Bryce, if you listen to this, you're a bitch.
You won't fight him.
Before we get into I got a Natty Light with me. God, Natty Lights are fucking delicious.
What's a Natty Light? What's that?
Fucking beer.
FaceTime. Oh, it's a beer. Nice.
Yeah.
I'm having a Coca-Cola, everyone, because
you get 15 of them for $7.99.
$7.99, 15. Wow. March 11th and 12th is going to be fun then.
Yeah, it's a cheap American beer, but you know what? Whatever gets you to the point of drunkenness.
That's the point. I mean, usually Coronas do it for me, but whatever it takes. If you gotta do a Heineken, you gotta do a Heineken, even though it's just. Ugh.
Should we talk about how you're coming down here? Or
yeah, sure. I mean, we're not going to give away our location and everything, so you guys don't go crazy. But I am visiting my good friend Cross. If we haven't stated before, I live in Connecticut and he lives in Florida. So we do this through like a FaceTime type screen. So we are going to do our first live episode at a spring training game. Or we're going to show part of the spring training game. I think we'll do maybe some at your house, and then we'll cut to the spring training, show some coverage. But, yeah, I mean, I'm excited.
Yeah, it's going to be really fun.
Yeah, definitely. And I think we'll have a blast. And all the starters should be playing the majority of the game. So I'm kind of hoping Goldschmidt.
Braves versus Cardinals.
Yeah, Braves versus Cardinals. So I kind of want to see Goldschmidt or Acuna just groove one.
One of my favorite players of all time, Josh Donaldson. Hopefully he'll be playing.
Yeah, dude, I keep forgetting he's on the Braves.
Yeah, that is kind of forgettable that he's on the Braves.
Because he's the first player that signed.
Yeah, we've said this 1,000. Yeah, that was the first episode. That was one of the first things we talked about.
Yep.
Josh signing.
Our first baseball news.
Yeah. You want to get into your Yankees?
Yes. Today, the Yankees locked up center fielder Aaron Hicks for 7 years, $70 million. So that's not going to add on to 2020. That's going to just replace his contract that he signed earlier this year. And I absolutely love this move because Aaron Hicks has just been going up like a roller coaster ever since he came to the Yankees. 2016, we're not going to lie, he sucked. But 2017, he had an extremely good first half when, unfortunately, he pulled his oblique. He was on his way to being an All-Star that year. And if you just look at his WAR, 2016, he had a negative .3 WAR, 17, 3.9, and 2018, a 4.7 WAR, which was 0.3 higher than Giancarlo Stanton, and as you know, Bryce Harper had a 1.3 WAR, so I think this is a great move for Hicks, a great move for the Yankees. Yes, he's going to be 36, 37, but I think I look as Aaron Hicks as a franchise player, the most underrated player on the team, and one of the top underrated players in the league.
Yeah, Aaron Hicks, a really good player.
Got some MVP votes, even though it was top 25, but still, like...
Very, very underrated, very good player, but I just feel like with this move, the Yankees are settling. The Yankees could have went out and gotten Machado or Harper. I guess we've been bashing. Harper.
I'll say this right now. I've been holding this in all day. Aaron Hicks will have a better year than Harper in 2019.
That's it. I hope he does. Because I hate Bryce Harper. I hope Aaron Hicks does have a better year than Bryce Harper. But I just do feel like the Yankees are settling. So you rather have Aaron Hicks than Bryce Harper?
I mean, for the amount of money, yes. For $10 million a year, over $35 million a year, for sure. And people, I'm probably gonna get grilled for this. People are like, "Oh, we didn't spend all the money for Machado and Harper." I kind of love this new Yankee way, to be honest with you. Oh, the evil empire. I mean, I really don't care. I like this new homegrown way, keeping the low funds so we can lock up Judge, Sanchez if he gets back to his old self, and who knows who's going to come next. So I just like this new way, keeping the homegrown players together and the players who really earned that money, which I believe Hicks did.
Yeah, I agree with that. When the news first broke, I was ripping the Yankees, I was ripping Cashman, but as the day went on and I was looking into it more and stuff, I realized it's definitely a better move than throwing $300 million plus at Bryce Harper.
Okay. Like, tell me, Aaron Hicks is definitely worth more than $10 million a year, right?
I wouldn't say he's worth more than $10 million a year. I think he's worth just about $10 million a year. Where he's a very, very good player, a top outfielder. But looking at it value-wise, Harper may have better numbers than Hicks does through this next 7 years. But Aaron Hicks definitely nothing to get mad about for the. He's he's definitely going to be there, and he's definitely going to put up numbers.
Exactly, and he put on 30 pounds of muscle this offseason, so I definitely would expect him to hit over 30 home runs this year. I want to see him get that average up. That's the only thing. I think his average the past 2 seasons have been in the 2.6. Yeah, actually this season 248 and then 266. On base percentage though, 366 and 372. So that's good. The slugging's pretty good as well. And yeah, I mean, I just want to see him get that average up. He strikes out probably the least amount on the Yankees. He's got a great eye, along with Judge at the top of that lineup. So, I mean, I love this move, and he's also, you see the guys on the field, and then you see their interviews, and Hicks is one of those guys who, he's there in the clubhouse. Before the first game of spring, they said, how long did it take you to get over that ALDS loss? And he said, I'm still not over it. I'm not going to be over it until we're hosting that World Series trophy. And that's just the mentality you got to love from a player as a fan.
So, is this the last move the Yankees make this offseason?
I think they'll extend Betances.
Okay.
Betances or Didi. It's interesting with Betances because it's going to be hard to hold on to him if you don't extend him, unless you throw stupid money at him next offseason, because if he goes out in the market, he's going to go out as a closer, which I actually don't think he is a really good closer. He doesn't have that gene to close games, really. But, yeah. I don't know, Betances you can get Didi for a steal right now, honestly.
Yeah, I think my Mets are done making moves. I really want to see them go out and try to get Gio Gonzalez, but
why not Keuchel?
Or Gio Gonzalez or Dallas Keuchel, but Brody Van Wagen said no. Jason Vargas is going to be our 5th starter, which is absolute bullshit. Jason Vargas is awful. He's almost 40 years old. The guy average fastball is 86.4 miles per hour, which is fucking awful. I can't believe he just came out and said that's going to be our guy. Not even a competition. There's guys in Mets probably AA who's better than Jason Vargas. Jason Vargas is not the guy to have as a 5th starter. He's not good enough to compete in the MLB anymore. He had an awful year last year. Brody's main point was, he didn't have a full spring training last year. That's why he had a bad year. That's ridiculous. He had a bad year throughout the whole entire season. Even if he was in spring training, he still would have sucked. Mets got to do something with that 5th starter.
Yeah, definitely. Do you guys have Lugo in the bullpen?
Yeah, but they want to keep Lugo.
Why do you put Lugo for the 5th starter?
I think Lugo should be the 5th starter.
He should. Lugo, I watched him dominate the Yankees in a May game when the Yankees were probably, in my opinion, the best team in baseball at that time. I watched him throw a gem and outduel Severino. So, I mean, I think there's no question he should be your 5th starter, and that Vargas is still even considered that has a chance to, not get cut. I think that's pretty stupid. I think Vargas should be earning his way onto that team.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. For the last 2 seasons, Seth Lugo has had the most spin rate on his curveball, which pretty phenomenal with the amount of great pitchers out there right now.
Yeah, I know. Especially Trevor Bauer. He probably would think he's an Astro.
Yeah, exactly. And the Astros were gunning for Lugo this offseason. Maybe that's still in the works. I don't know if they're still talking about that.
Well, yeah, I mean, if Brody is not even going to make him a starter, it doesn't seem like they have too much faith in him.
Well, he was good in the bullpen last year as well. So was good. But I would like to see Lugo get his chance as a starter.
Yeah, definitely. I think the kid's got good stuff. But other news: Marwin Gonzalez signed a 2-year deal with the Twins, $21 million. That is a steal for the Twins. Great move. And with Frankie Lindor, if he misses a good amount of time, Twins might have a shot at that Central.
They have a shot, but
I mean, I don't think they're going to, because I heard he's only going to miss a little bit of time. But I don't know. Remember what they did in 2017?
But they don't have Dozier anymore, and they don't have their best pitcher was Irving Santana. They don't have him anymore.
That's true. Yeah, they don't really have pitching, but they got Nelson Cruz.
They have
Kepler's a pretty good player.
Yeah, they have a couple good veteran bats, and then Max Kepler. But I don't see them competing at all this year.
Really, I mean, I think it's the key is they've had a really overhyped prospect for years now.
Broxton. Right?
Byron.
Byron.
They actually chose him over Aaron Hicks, which obviously was a mistake.
Yeah.
Because we got John Ryan Murphy for Aaron Hicks, which was an incredible deal. Now that you think about it, but I mean, I remember when we went to the game and they were heckling him, Byron.
Buxton, yeah, that was
Byron.
Fun. Yeah, he's had his shot to get better, Buxton, but he's just proven that he's a very good glove, but
great fielder, but he can't catch up to the fastball. He compare him a lot to Greg Bird. How he's been overhyped and just can't catch up to that fastball. Although Birdie looked good in that first spring training game,
Bird definitely has more pop, though.
Oh, that's true. Bird has more pop, but I mean, I think the disappointment you can compare.
Yeah, I think Buxton more a disappointment because he was like I think he was a third prospect, but he's definitely been a bust from here on out.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, the reason Bird expects so much is, if you don't remember, 2015, he came in, kind of carried the Yankees to that wild card game.
He did. Bird was hot when he first came up.
Yep, and then obviously the huge home run off Andrew Miller, which Andrew Miller's given up a lot of big home runs, honestly, in the playoffs.
Yeah, he has, yeah.
Yeah, the one with Joe, what's his name? The old guy, David Ross, in the World Series. I think Baez got him too.
Yeah, he did. But I can't see Miller pitching great with the Cardinals. I don't know.
You can't? You think his best days are over?
I do think his best days are over. I wish the Mets had pursued him, but I don't see him going to his how good he was with the Indians when he got traded from the Yankees and going into the playoffs. He was nasty.
His whole Yankee career. He was filthy.
Yeah, and with the Indians in that regular season and the playoffs, He was untouchable.
But he got touched up a little bit in that World Series. But that first game, he got into a bases loaded, no outs, and he got them all.
Yeah.
But also other news, Tigers signed the other big utility man out there, who I think is a great player, Josh Harrison. I mean, it's not huge news. The only reason I'm mentioning this is obviously the Tigers are going to be a bad team once again. So I think he's going to be on a contender come the All-Star break, and he could really help them out.
Yeah, right off the bat, I thought the Tigers, with no use for him because he's a utility guy. He's good for a team who's like on the verge for the playoffs. Like he's like that last piece that could push him, like a good pinch hitter. Tigers definitely will probably end up trading him to where I have no idea. But yeah, he's a great utility player. Great, he will be great off the bench as a pinch hitter. I think he's still got some good baseball left in him.
Oh, definitely. He's got much good baseball left in him. He's really one of the more underrated players of the game. I've watched him the past few years, and I really like the way he plays.
Yeah, I remember Mets versus Pirates back in 2014 where Mets had him in a rundown for a minute and a half, and he escaped it. I was so pissed. And
I hate when that happens.
Yeah, ever since then I've despised Josh Harrison just because of that moment. But now I hope he breaks out and leads the team to the playoffs. It's not going to be Tigers, but when he gets traded, I hope he leads them to the playoffs.
Yeah, no, definitely. He's a good hitter. Do you remember that game where Rich Hill had 9? He no hit the Pirates through 9 innings, but no one scored, and then Harrison comes up in the 10th, their first and only hit, and just jacks one.
Yeah. I mean, Josh Harrison. He's like who's he like?
Like Marwin, basically.
He's kind of like when he's like
Jerry Harrison Jr. maybe.
No, he's just he's a fucking thorn in your side. Like he's like one of those guys when your team's playing them, you look up and he has 3 hits and 4 stolen bases. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, definitely. Like a Jacoby Ellsbury with the Red Sox.
Yeah. Yeah.
So with this steal by Hicks, like, he is not in the picture at all. Like, Ellsbury.
Yeah. And is he injured right now? Don't they expect him to, like,
Yeah,
not
missed
even...
the start of the season because his whatever the hell is not better yet after missing all of last year. But, like, the thing is, like, it's weird because even, like, when players get hurt, like, Didi was there, Montgomery when he had Tommy John, he was in the dugout. I didn't see Ellsbury in the dugout one game last year.
Yeah, was Ellsbury even there for the playoffs?
No, he was not there in one game that whole year.
Freaking Greg Bird was there. And
Greg Bird was there the whole season.
He was cut from the playoff roster.
Exactly. So, like, and he was pumped. Like, that's why I feel like Bird, he's still a team player because I don't think he said anything when they played Voit. But, of course, Greg Bird goes in, gets 2 solid hits, and then Voit just hits a freaking tank yesterday.
Yeah. But didn't Bird say, "Oh, they're just gonna keep giving me chance after chance"?
They're just like, "Are you worried about your job?" He's like, "I'm gonna have like 5,000 to 7,000 more at bats in this league, so be all right." And that's what kind of drove a lot of fans crazy on him.
Yeah.
But Hanley Ramirez signs with the Indians. I like that move for them. I think he's gonna be their DH come start of the season.
I don't think I don't see him. I don't think he has anything left in the tank.
You don't think so?
I don't think so.
I think so. I think he still got pop.
What were his numbers when he got cut last year from Boston?
Let me look him up. They weren't good, but he definitely had a good first month, though.
Yeah,
he just had a bad May. I think they were just tight that he made the last out of the no-hitter.
Yeah, he had a good first month. Then he really went downhill from there.
Yeah, this .02 WAR. I mean, he had a 254 a batting average. It's not like the worst, but obviously not great. Hanley.
Yeah, it's not awful. But
6 bombs, 45 hits in a month and a half. I mean, obviously it's not what you want, but I mean,
yeah, definitely
we'll see what he does in spring if he still has pop. Because oh my gosh, I was so glad to see that they cut him. Though he killed us. Yeah,
but for the Indians, it's definitely a good option to have coming off the bench or having a DH. If someone needs a blow, put him in the game. Probably still has some home run pop in the bat, but I can't see him hitting over 250.
Oh, yeah, no. Yeah, definitely it's just a guy who's just going to try to launch one every at bat. Still pretty young, only 35 now. But his projected numbers are not great. I mean, only 13 home runs with a 251 batting average, so he's definitely, his best days are way in the background. I mean, obviously when he was a little less hefty with the Marlins, he was a great hitter. He actually hit for average, led the league in 2009 with a 342 batting average.
Yeah, he was a bona fide Met killer when he was on the Marlins. But at the end of his Marlins career, when they were thinking about moving in the left field, that's when you saw the decrease in play. He wasn't really trying out there. He was jogging balls out. Oh, yeah. He wasn't really going after balls that were hitting the hole when he was playing shortstop. But he seems like a lot of guys like him. He seems fun. Seems like a good locker room guy nowadays. And I think the Indians made a good move by signing him. Yeah, definitely. He had that 342 and then the 300 in 2010. And then he had a drastic drop-off. 2011, 243. 257, 246. And then he went to the Dodgers, hit 271. And then 2013, and only 86 games, he hit 345, which is what I think got him that deal with the Red Sox. Yeah. He was part of that huge... He was part of that huge Beckett trade? Or was that Crawford? No, he wasn't in that. That was a Crawford. Crawford and Adrian Gonzalez. Yeah. Yeah, those guys wanted out of the Red Sox so bad. Beckett and Gonzalez. Yeah, I know. Well, Gonzalez had such a good first year with the Red Sox. I hated him. He was so annoying. Yeah, he was good with the Red Sox. That was back when Bobby Valentine was the manager. Fucking... Yeah.
Better Padre.
Yeah.
Dude, he was nasty Padre.
He was nasty with the Padres, and he was nasty with the Mets. I'm just kidding. He sucked with the
I
Mets.
forgot he was on the Mets last year.
He came up, and he was so clutch early with the Mets when we started off 11-1. But after that,
when Todd was shaking his salt and pepper.
Yeah, then after that, the whole team just tailed off. So what are your thoughts? What are you taking away from the first couple of spring training games?
I'm really liking what I saw. Paxton looked excellent today. He had some really good movement on his pitches. Tyler Wade, I know he does this every year in the spring and then it's minors, but he has looked great. 5 for 5 so far with, I think, 3 doubles and 5 stolen bases. So he could be a super good piece. As I know you've told me before, you've seen the potential in Tyler Wade. Yeah,
I see Trey Turner in him, but he just got to get the bat going.
Yeah, so if he carries this to the regular season, he could be really good. He's also he's the fastest guy in the team by far. That kid's got wheels. Yeah. I'm liking what the Yankees' approach has been. I haven't seen nearly as many swing and misses as I usually see. They're trying to go opposite field, as you saw Tulowitzki hit the opposite field home run today. I mean, I'm not going to make a big deal about that, but it's obviously he has worked himself back into shape to play baseball, and that was a sweet sound he made off the bat. And if he can go opposite field like that, he's going to have a lot of home runs.
If he could get it to the short porch, he definitely could hit himself a couple home runs this year.
Yeah, definitely. I've always liked when he was with the Rockies. He was an excellent player. It has come out that he wasn't thrilled when he left the Rockies. But I mean, I don't know. You got Tulowitzki, you got LeMahieu out of Venue. I mean, the Rockies don't extend Arenado. Is this kind of a recruitment?
Maybe. Yeah. Maybe, dude. I just can't see Arenado in a different uniform.
Really?
Yeah.
I definitely could see him in those pinstripes, dude, though. I don't know. He definitely... Oh, dude, he'd be sweet. I mean, I know Coors, but he's not Coors. He's an excellent player.
Oh, yeah. Excellent hitter. Excellent fielder. Definitely, if you're like mapping up an ideal baseball player in your mind, it's Nolan Arenado.
Definitely. And especially with the Yankees... extending Hicks. I don't know if that means Florial, our number 1 prospect, who's supposed to be a 5-tool type player, will be available now. So if the Rockies aren't having a great first half, I don't know if you'd see the Yankees make a move depending on the season Andujar is having, but I don't know. There's just been a lot of rumors about the Yankees having big interest in Arenado, but it's stupid to talk about that now until anything is in the works. He's a Rocky for now.
Yeah, that's still like a year away. But going into the Mets now, I've seen
Pete, yeah, he's looked good.
Yeah, I'll get into Pete. First, I want to talk about Jed Lowry. Of course he's hurt because he's a Met now, and of course his knee's all fucked up.
Yeah, he's gonna hit 240. I'm just kidding. I don't think I think he's gonna be solid, but I don't think he's gonna put the season he did, or I mean the first half he did last year.
I just want him to play. I just get him on the field, just get him healthy, and hopefully he's healthy for opening day, which I don't know right now. But we do have depth. If he's not ready to go, we have Echeverria. McNeil could come play second base or third base, and then we could have Lagares or Broxton or Keon Broxton start. But so I just want Lowry to get healthy. Now going into let's talk about Tebow a little bit. Fucking Tim Tebow steps up to the plate yesterday
when he got robbed.
Robbed by fucking the dude on the Astros. It was a great catch. He did drive it pretty well.
No, his swing. He's definitely looking a little different on his swing. He looks a little better. He's catching up to big league pitching. That's the most important thing. So.
Yeah, his swing is still very ugly, but he's getting there. I hope we don't see him on the MLB roster this year because that would mean that the Mets had a awful year. But going into the more important pieces, DeGrom pitched the other day too.
Took that L. What happened, Cross?
Hey, He's just out here just trying to get back into shape. Or he's in shape. He's just trying to get back into form.
He's got like 16 runs higher than his last year's ERA, man. I'm a little worried.
That's fine. I take spring training with a grain of salt. He just wants to control his fastball, get that fastball right. Besides the runs he gave up, I think he looked pretty sharp. Going to Syndergaard. Syndergaard today, he pitched that fastball. He got it up to 99. That breaking stuff's looking lethal. I think Syndergaard's winning the Cy Young this year.
He's going to win a Cy Young?
He's winning the Cy Young this year. Noah Syndergaard. His hair's all the way down to his shoulders now. The dude's looking like a fucking beast.
No, I'm a big fan of Noah Syndergaard. I like him. I think he's hilarious. I follow him on social media. He's looking good. I mean, I think he's trying to look like Thor. Like, he's throwing it out. I mean, yeah, no, I can definitely see Syndergaard winning that Cy Young. And if you were going to flash back a year and I asked you who's better, Syndergaard or DeGrom, I think you'd say Syndergaard.
Before last season would have started, I would have said Syndergaard.
Syndergaard was the opening day starter.
He was opening day starter. DeGrom's getting his first crack as an opening day starter, which I find crazy to believe. But then when you think
first year?
Yeah, when you think about it, it's like, oh yeah, because we had Harvey and then Syndergaard, and now DeGrom's getting his crack as the opening day starter. Actually, in between, in 2015, Bartolo Colon was our opening day starter.
What? The year you made the World Series? That's crazy.
The year the Mets made the World Series, Bartolo Colon was the opening day starter. Because Harvey was just coming off the Tommy John, and they didn't want to. And Syndergaard wasn't even on the team yet, and they didn't want DeGrom going out there, which I don't know why. But yeah, so DeGrom and Syndergaard looking sharp. And Wilson Ramos, his swing was looking good. He drove one the opposite field. He's got that great opposite field swing, and we don't need him to hit home runs. I don't think the Mets are going to be a big home run hitting team. I think we'll have our fair share of home runs.
Did you guys lead the NL in home runs last year, though?
No, that was the year before.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, if he just has that opposite field approach and just keeps driving in runs, keeps driving the ball into the gap, that's all we need him to do. So he looked good his first couple of bats. Robinson Cano, he hasn't gotten a hit yet, but
he got an infield single the first game.
That infield single. I want to see him drive the ball. He did hit one to the warning track, but I think his swing is looking good. He did swing at a couple ugly pitches, but he's
he does that. Cano, he'll do that. He chases. Cano, what you're gonna learn is he hates to walk. If it's 3-0, 100 times out of 100, he's gonna swing at the pitch, no matter where it is.
Yeah, and that's like what the Mets are looking. The Mets, the Mets are built to swing the bat. They're not real. That's how they've been for years now. Not a team that walks a lot. So hopefully we see him swinging the bat and going to fucking Peter Alonso, Pistol Pete. First pitch he sees, Pete Alonso, he wants to be called. First pitch he sees, home run, not dead center, but pretty close to dead center. It was a bomb, and then he's been playing the field too.
I saw that Cannon the home today.
Yeah, he made that sliding stop. He's looking good in the field. I don't think he'll be there. I don't think he should be there to start the year, so we could have another year of team control on him. But I think it's stupid. But I think once he's up, and if Cano's doing what he's supposed to do, if Ramos is doing what he's supposed to do, if Lowry's back and healthy, and if the pitching staff is
what about Todd? What about my man's Todd?
Todd Frazier, he could be a good pinch hitter. And I know I've been saying this, and Mets fans have been saying this for years. It's all up to Conforto and Nimmo. If they could get on base and hit the ball, driving runs, steal some bases, because they both got speed. They're both really good fielders.
I think it's on Cano.
Yeah, you think it's on Cano?
I do. I know I've talked a lot of shit about Cano just because the Glaber thing, but he's gonna have a huge year. I'm gonna tell you this right now. He might not have an MVP number wise season, but he's gonna hit many big hits for the Mets. I don't know, Cross. Right now, I think you guys are the favorites to win the division. I mean, I'm really not trying to jinx you guys right now. I think you guys have the least questions in the division.
You think we're the East favorites right now?
I think so. I mean, if you got Nimmo, you got Conforto, you got Cano, you got Ramos. If Pistol Pete can come up and be like a Rookie of the Year type player, which everyone thinks he is, the offense is going to be better. You guys got a pretty good bullpen. You got the best closer as of right now. You got Familia, who's a great setup man. So I think you guys have the least amount of questions in the division. The Nats have a great starting staff, pretty good offense, but bullpens, they got Doolittle. The Phillies and Braves, I mean, they don't really have a bullpen. They got good offenses, so I think you guys have the least amount of question marks.
Yeah, I'm excited to see how this season plays out.
Me too, dude. I say this every year, but I've never been this excited for a season. Like I just got a good vibe about this season.
Yeah, just like all the storylines. Of course, with our teams, we have all the storylines, but even outside of our teams, with Harper and Machado, how they'll perform this year. I don't think there's only the American League Central. That's the only division where there's a clear-cut winner.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the Yankees and the Red Sox, I think right now the Yankees have the least amount of question marks, but you're going to respect the 108-win team last year, that they're going to come back and not repeat, but still be an excellent team. So I don't think there's a clear-cut winner in the AL East. Definitely not the NL East. It's up for grabs. NL Central's going to be up there with the NL East with the best division in baseball. The West might take a little step back with Colorado losing a couple players, which I think they'll still be good. But I don't know. I'm excited for this season, but I will take a pick right now. I think both New York teams make it deep into the postseason.
Hey, that's when you know baseball's good, when both New York teams are playing well.
Exactly. So I think both teams are going to make their championship series, and would it be a dream come true?
So you think the Mets can make the championship series?
I think so.
I mean, they could if the pitch and pitch. I mean, it's the same story every year. If with the Mets is if, and hopefully those ifs can find.
Like that with every team. It's like that with my team too. I mean,
yeah. You can say that with every team. Yeah, definitely. But anything else for baseball?
No, that's about it. It was a fun talk, but we're gonna move on to some hockey now. It's been a tough few days as a Rangers fan.
Listen. I'm still a Rangers fan. I'm still a Rangers fan. I'm still a Rangers fan.
Did you tear up during Hendrick's interview?
Oh, I fucking bawled.
Okay, good. Okay, so basically, the Rangers have committed to not tanking. Well, they're going to be awful now, but everyone knew they were rebuilding last season. They traded some key players last year as well, but Zuccarello, that was just over the edge for me. I mean, Hayes, I would have been a little upset about, but Zuccarello, that was just a shot to the heart, especially being a hockey fan since 2016. Him being one of the players that got me into it. That was rough, and not even to get a first rounder for him. That was devastating news.
Yeah, now he's out. He's out for 4 weeks now.
Yeah, so he gets a goal and assist, and then he breaks his hand. Was it?
Yeah, his upper body injury, his hand. Yeah,
I mean that's a shame that Dallas is gonna miss them too, just like we are right now. But
yeah.
I mean, I was happy for him that he was going to have a chance to compete for a cup, but I don't know what's going to happen now. So, I hope speedy recovery. He's a free agent, so he's welcome back. I would love to see that happen, but
yeah, it's a huge loss for the Stars. One of those fringe teams who was who's in the race. It's a huge loss for the Stars losing Zook.
Yeah, and he obviously was an immediate impact, positive impact.
Yeah,
he had 2 assists. I mean, he had 1 goal and 1 assist, and they won 4-3. So Zook won that game for them, basically. So
yeah, and then now my personal favorite Ranger, Kevin Hayes, to the
really he was your personal favorite. I loved Hayes too.
Yeah. I remember watching his first game. He came up, he scored a goal, and
he scored 2, didn't he?
Scored 2 goals. Yeah, I don't remember who was it against, but it was a great.
The Penguins, right? Or
It was a great game though, watching him score 2 goals.
He had a great season this year. He was looking so good. This season, just some injury problems, but he had many breakaways and no shots at Rick Nash. But I felt like Rick Nash was holding him back a little bit.
I agree with you.
I think Hayes is going to be really good for Winnipeg, and they came within I think they lost in 5 to the Knights last year, and they're definitely a threat for the Cup, the Jets.
Yeah, even though the Rangers did make it to a Stanley Cup final with Rick Nash, he was a big part of it. He was definitely a bust his whole career with the Rangers.
Yeah, definitely. I don't know too much about Nash. I watched him for a little bit. He definitely was up and down, but he definitely had some good stick skills. He retired about a month ago, I believe.
Yeah, because nobody wanted him because he was so washed.
I heard it was the concussions. I thought the Celtics, the Bruins extended him last offseason.
Was he? I don't know. They extended him? I didn't even know that.
I don't know, extended. I think they might have to sign him to 1 year, but...
Well, he was washed anyways.
Yeah, but I want to talk about former Rangers, like McDonough, and how's McDonough doing with the Lightning?
Playing great defense, getting in front of the puck and blocking all these shots, just doing what he always does.
They extended him. It was like a 7-year, right? Didn't they?
Yeah, and Miller tonight, I believe he had an assist, no goal tonight. They were winning 2-0 when I was watching it, and I came to do the pod. So I'm sure they won because fucking Lightning are just nasty. Probably now 11-0-2 in the month of February.
Yeah, I know the Lightning. They do this every year. They're always usually one of the top teams. They just gotta get to that cup and they gotta win it.
Gotta win it.
They gotta win it. That's been their problem. They just kind of the playoff gene has, and they don't have. As Pittsburgh does.
They've been there for years now, and then they just.
I'm just saying, yeah. That's why I'm saying they just gotta show up in the playoffs. They gotta break through.
Yeah, and they said right at the deadline, they're like, nope, we're not making any moves. We're staying put, and they have faith in the guys. I mean, they're the best team in hockey right now, and why mess with it? You know?
No, definitely. So, what else? What other Lightning news is there?
Nothing much. Just they just got to keep playing how they're playing, and they're a contender for the cup.
I was surprised that they didn't trade Zook or Hayes to the Lightning, because that's what they always do.
Yeah.
Imagine if they traded Zook to the Lightning. Like
the Rangers and the Lightning love making trades with each other.
They do. I mean, it's like I can stand the Lightning because they have what? They have Girardi, Callahan, Miller, McDonough. I feel like there's someone else.
No, you named them all.
4? So they have 4 former Rangers.
Yeah. I mean, when you look at the Ranger teams, though, like, they were so good. I feel so bad for Henrik Lundqvist that we're probably never going to get him a cup.
I know, never, especially now with the rebuild. Oh my god, dude, watching that interview was pain, dude. That was...
Yeah.
The fact you couldn't even answer the question... That was.
You're a newer Rangers fan. I'm sure you could.
Oh no, I definitely tear it up. Especially Henrik. I mean, even though I'm just a Rangers fan, I've known who Henrik Lundqvist is for years. But especially my last name is Blomqvist, so we're both Sweden. So I have that connection with Henrik.
Yeah, and Zook's a Swede as well.
He's actually Norwegian. Zook.
Wait. Oh yeah, that's right. He played for, but no, didn't he play for the Sweden national team?
I think he did, but I looked it up just to make sure, and he's from Norway.
I think he played for both though, for both national teams. I'm pretty sure.
Zook, great guy. That's what I'm just like. That'd be like trading even though I think Zook probably is a little better of a player than Gardner is in baseball, but you just don't trade a guy like that. I can't see Brett Gardner ever playing anywhere else. He's just a heart and soul kind of guy of the team.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. But in the position that the Rangers in right now, they just got to get whatever they can, because they're in.
He was a free agent after this season.
They're in full rebuild mode. Do you think Kreider will be gone?
Deadline's over. Today was the deadline.
Yeah, I thought he was going to be gone.
I don't know. They can trade Tyler, but whatever they do, if you fucking get rid of Mika Zibanejad, I don't know. That might be just a short term fanship because that would be stupid.
Yeah, Zook and Mika have always been your guys ever since you started watching the Rangers.
Mika and Zook. I've loved Mika ever since he hit that clutch OT goal against the Canadians.
Yeah. So that wraps it up for hockey.
Yeah. So going into this Robert Kraft scandal, I'm not surprised at all.
I'm not surprised, yes, but I don't think anything should happen to him. The guy just wanted a rub and tug, you know?
Yeah, he just wanted a rub and tug. You guys call those pigs or whatever, but there's millions of dirty guys doing stuff like that, and Robert Kraft.
Yeah, you don't think Jerry Jones is probably getting a rub and tug right now.
Exactly, like, come on, you know my man, Mr. Mayer and Mr. Tish be getting it in, like.
Exactly, all these owners are up to no good.
Like, you telling me George Steinbrenner wasn't getting the rub and tug? Like,
you kidding me? Yeah, all the owners.
Box.
Yeah, all the owners are getting rub and tugs. That's probably the hot spot in Jupiter, Florida.
Exactly.
But yeah, Robert Kraft. His court date is April 14th, I believe. Do you think he'll face a suspension from the NFL?
Probably. I mean,
yeah, probably. I think he will a couple games. I don't think he should, but like, what happens when you suspend an owner? They can't watch the game from their suite.
Yeah,
they
it's not like they affect anything. Like, really, I mean, obviously they approve of all the moves, but it's not going to affect them. They're still going to have Brady. They're still going to have Belichick, and probably whatever they add to their team.
And as much as I hate the Patriots and I hate Robert Kraft, I mean, just leave him alone. His wife died, just trying to get a rub and tug, just trying to get off.
I mean, it's definitely sleazy, but definitely it's Robert Kraft, an old NFL owner. What do you expect?
Yeah, I know.
Super Bowl, his 6th ring. Think that's going to affect him? No. I mean, he's definitely an idiot for getting on that list and getting caught, no doubt, but...
You and I both have some Robert Kraft stories. You want to tell yours?
Oh, yes. I have there's this, like, old guy at the bar. We call him Mr. Magoo. He's got his glasses, big tubby guy, and he used to date this woman, and apparently Robert Kraft took his girl.
Oh, jeez.
Yep.
How did he do that?
I don't know the story. He was just like, one day, I just remember I was dating her, and then we broke up, and then all of a sudden, I heard she had lunch with Robert Kraft and Trump. So,
jeez, well, poor guy. But mine's a little.
Let me hear this. I want to hear this because you haven't told me this before.
So, back in 1999, the Patriots. Robert Kraft was just bought the Patriots, and they were thinking about moving to Hartford, Connecticut.
Right, that's why the Whalers moved, and then the Patriots pulled out, right?
Right, and then so they had a couple practices in Hartford, Connecticut, and I was a baby. With my mom and dad, and Robert Kraft, he came up to me in my stroller, me and my twin sister, and he was like, "Oh my gosh, look at these twins!" And he picked me up from my stroller, and he was holding me. And I don't think I have any pictures of it. I gotta find some if there is. And yeah, he held me for a couple minutes. I guess I don't recall this, but and that's probably why I'm cursed by the Patriots.
Probably, dude. That's why they haunt your life. Could you imagine if they were Hartford and they just won all that? Like,
yeah.
I don't know if I'd be a Patriots fan. Like,
oh no, my family has been a Jets fans for years, so I don't think there'd be any chance I'd ever be a Patriots fan. Yeah. Even if they played in Norwalk, Connecticut, where me and Reid are from, no chance I'd be a Patriots fan.
Nope. Never.
But,
never.
Last thing, since there's no football news at all, last chance you coach Jason Brown resigned because he texted a kid, a player on the team who's from Germany. He texted him, "I'm your new Hitler now," which is fucking outrageous.
That's crazy.
And he resigned. And his resignment letter, he was saying like all this shit, like how he brought this organization from a loser into a winner, every year winner. This JUCO team. But yeah, and if you watch the show Last Chance U, the guy, he's just an asshole. He's always yelling at the players and players, especially college players. Like that's not how you're gonna get the best out of them, by yelling at them. Yeah, I just don't think that he was a great coach.
Yeah, no, I don't really know anything about that story except for what you sent me earlier. But that's just messed up, man. You don't reference Hitler now unless it's like a joke, which is still, it's not too funny. I mean, kind of is, but
yeah, it is.
But I mean, you don't like in a serious manner say I'm your Hitler. That's just fucked up, man. He deserved to be fired instead of resigned and just probably beaten up, honestly.
Yeah, you don't say that. What was he thinking? Like, he's with all the social media nowadays, he's a head coach of a college football team. He's on a popular show on Netflix. Like, you can't do that shit.
No, that's what an idiot, dude.
But yeah, other than that, no football news. We got.
Oh wait, Le'Veon Bell's fat.
Le'Veon Bell is fat. He's as Booger McFarlane would say, he's a KFC or he's a Popeye's biscuit away from being 300 pounds.
Yeah, so I mean, nothing against Le'Veon. Don't come for me, man. I know you're passionate about people that go against you, as is Antonio. But I think Le'Veon, wherever he signs, will have an average 2019 and be back to the player he was in 2020.
Hope so. Hopefully the Jets are in on him. Hopefully the Jets are meeting with Pittsburgh representatives in Indianapolis this week.
Really?
During the Combine for Antonio Brown. Hopefully they could work something out. I'd love to see Antonio Brown with the Jets, but if he cleans up his attitude, we'll see.
That'd be great for football. Have Odell in New York and Antonio Brown with the Jets. You can do a complexion each year of who has more tantrums on the sideline.
Of course, and as the NFL draft gets closer, we'll have a couple mock drafts out.
Yeah, we'll think about one. I mean, I don't know. I mean, the Giants have a lot of draft picks. This is going to be interesting, but what are your limits for Brown? Who name, like, what's your, like, 3 you would not trade or absolutely off limits?
Honestly, as Sam Darnold, that's it.
Not even Darnold, Adams?
Sam Darnold, Jamal Adams, Quincy Enunwa, and the tight end Hernan. Other than that, take anybody you want.
First rounder? You'll give him the 3 pick for Antonio?
I'll give him the 3 for Antonio. Is if we go out and get some if we get a pass. Yeah, or if we get Le'Veon.
Yeah,
but I think we can work something out for him, even if it has to be the 3rd pick. He's a game changer, you know.
No, definitely he's a game changer. Even in his 30s, he's gonna age well, nicely. Just gotta, I don't know, New York. He can't be acting like the way he did in Pittsburgh.
No, can't.
Because you guys will destroy him, as we know how Jets fans are.
Oh yeah, and I think the coaching staff is gonna keep it in check. The Jets got a huge revamp in the coaching. I think Adam Gase, he doesn't put up with bullshit. I think he'll be straightforward with him and tell him, yo, you got to clean up that attitude. Or
yep. Well, he looks at him with his googly eyes.
Yeah. Other than that, it's been a very nothing happened at all with football.
Yeah, no, we didn't even make a slide for football. Just kind of rambled about, but a couple of weeks free agency will start, and looks like Landon Collins. It's not going to be a Giant anymore, which sucks. But he basically cleared out his locker room and said bye to his teammates. Per usual, Odell trade rumors, as there are every offseason, but won't happen. Apparently, Belichick wants him, which is a key. Don't do it, because he's going to become the greatest receiver ever if he goes to Belichick.
Yeah, what was Odell tweeting about the other day?
What? Like when he was just laughing at something?
No, like I don't remember. I gotta look at it. I just shut down my computer.
Someone like reporter was like, if you want to win, then you need to trade Beckham. And then I guess he replied. He says, "All I'm about is winning."
Yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah, I mean, that's what the difference between him and Antonio. When Antonio's freaking out on the sideline, it's because he's not getting the ball, even if they're winning 21-0. When Odell's freaking out, it's because maybe it's not because he's not getting the ball, but I've never seen him freak out in a game that they're losing, and it's always when they're just getting the shit kicked out of him.
Yeah.
But besides that, nothing next episode.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll see you next episode.
Yep, see you next episode. Nice 1 hour on the dot.
Oh, wow. I thought it was a little longer, but whatever.
Yeah. But, alright, we'll see you next episode. Hopefully we got Bryce Harper signed. And stay classy, people.
Alright, thanks, guys.